Okay, so what is redshift? Well, if we consider an observer, over here that's the observer's eye, and in the far, far distance there's a galaxy. Now this galaxy emits light, represented by the spring, the wavelength, represented by the coils in the spring. It emits light in all different directions, and because this galaxy is stationary right now, it doesn't matter where you're stood, the coils all look the same, the wavelength of the light being emitted looks the same from everywhere you stood. So some of this light will travel from this stationary galaxy into our eyes. Now, what if that galaxy was moving? Well, if it was moving away from us very, very fast in that direction, then rather than looking like this, the waves being emitted behind it would stretch and their wavelength would increase. So the wavelength of these waves as they hit us increases. That means they look different to how they should look. Now what happens is they actually move, they look redder than they should. So they move towards the red end of the spectrum, and that's called redshift. What we notice is when we look into space, all the galaxies that we see appear redder than they should. This tells us that all the galaxies are moving away from us. The galaxies are furthest away from us appear the most redshifted, so they are moving away from us the fastest. This is one of the strongest pieces of evidence we have for the Big Bang Theory. Now, if we very quickly consider blue shift, if this car was travelling towards us, if the galaxy was travelling towards us like that, then what we would have now is rather than being stretched, these waves in fact would be compressed, and the wavelength would shrink, and these waves, when they arrive to us, would look smaller than they should. The wavelength is much smaller, they would look bluer than they should. And we don't notice that. In our universe, we only notice that things are redshifted, so we have no evidence that things are moving closer to us, only that they are moving away from us, and the furthest ones are accelerating away from us even faster.